Well, hey everyone, Liz LeClaire here, and I'm here with Kelly here at CHWE. Kelly at Restored Vibes. He's going to be in the background today, but we're here today with Lisa Warner and Sarah Lena Hofer. Am I saying your name correctly, dear?
Yes,
Close
perfect.
enough. That is so great. It's lovely to hear we have kind of two energy workers here today, and we're going to start with Sarah. So Sarah, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. Very hot, sunny today.
And where are you?
Madeira Island
Off of Portugal.
in Portugal, yeah, in the Atlantic.
Is that where you lived permanently?
Yes, that's my
Oh,
base.
oh, I'm going to come visit.
Me too.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Well, Sarah, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, for sure. I'm from Austria originally, and I moved here to Madeira like 9 months ago now to enjoy the ocean, the weather, the nice flowers you can see all around. It's the flower island. And what brought me here is basically the vibration. I was looking for high vibrating places in Europe, and so Madeira popped out. And when I came first here, I really loved it. So I chose this as my new base for sending healing frequencies into the world. Yeah.
That's wonderful. So then why don't you tell us a little bit about your work? I was looking at your website today. It looks fascinating.
Thank you. Yeah, what we do is we bridge the technology, quantum technology and spirituality. So it's energy work in the end. And we have this quantum biophoton generator is the name that actually emits an electromagnetic frequency programmed for the person or for the business that I'm working with. So what we do is, depending on what people want to accomplish, there's like different programs. If you look on our website, and there's the basic program is like the quantum business flow or quantum life flow if somebody doesn't have a business. And it's designed to put your organization or your life in this ideal flow state where everything just happens naturally and is totally aligned with the universe. So you can program certain goals for that. And then what the machine does, it creates like an electromagnetic signature for these specific goals. And that will be vibrated then into your energy field on a daily basis. So I call it like the law of attraction that's on autopilot, basically, because it's always working in the background, no matter if you do your personal manifestation work or not. It will always be there, this vibration, until you can go in resonance with that higher vibration. So yeah, it's really powerful, and my clients are experiencing very profound changes in no time, really. It's amazing. That's why the machine I'm working with, it's called Time Waver, because in the quantum field, there is no time, no space. So that's why it waves the time component, let's say, and you can really work on deep emotional traumas. Also, that's another program on our website. If there's some problem in the subconscious that's stored, maybe, or even conscious, can be, doesn't matter. The frequencies, they will analyze and check what caused the trauma, for example, and help to resolve that. And one of my favorite programs is the Cosmic Mission Discovery, because I, for myself, had to discover that first, and that work started with the frequencies, actually, when I found out about them and started using them. It was when I really found what makes me happy, which is guiding other people to have success and happiness and joy in their life. So it's, yeah, what the name says, it helps you really tune into your soul plan, be in contact with what your heart really, really desires. What was it that you made this agreement with yourself before you even incarnated here on earth, what you want to do? And you can remember in the end, because of course it's all stored within you somewhere, but most people take a long time. It took me 32 years until I found out what my cosmic mission is. But yeah, ever since I started working with these frequency machines, I totally feel that my life has shifted in the right direction, and I have absolute certainty that I'm on the right path. So it's really powerful to be able to give this gift to other people and businesses.
That's fabulous. I would say, I think Lisa and others would agree, 32 is quite early to find your life mission, so good on you.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So how did you discover this machine, this biophoton electromagnetic radiation machine? Like, how did you land on this piece, like
Well,
of
at first,
healing work?
I got the information from my normal medicine doctor. He's a quantum medicine practitioner, and he's one of the pioneers in Austria that's working ever since this machine came on the market in 2008. He was working with it. And so I first just got this normal scan for my body, and he would do some analysis and give me some good vibes. And then at that time, I had a software agency, and he knew about that. So he was, oh, this machine can also work for businesses. And I'm like, what? How does that work? And he referred me to one of his colleagues that was focused on businesses. And so I started out first as a client of another consultant in Austria. And then when it was time through the work with frequencies I realized, okay, I don't want to do software for the rest of my life. Then I decided I want to be able to offer this possibility to other people, because it had such a huge and fast impact on my own life that I really feel, it was my responsibility to share that with other people that are on this path of self-transformation and really want to grow. Because it just, you can go to a normal therapist or life coach or psychologist, and you can talk things through. And of course, that also shows good results. But sometimes you have to talk for years and years at a time about a certain trauma or issue until it's resolved. And with the machine, we don't need to know exactly what is the issue. It can even analyze in the subconscious, because it draws directly from the quantum field, and everything is stored there. So even if we don't know what it is, we could never really talk about it with somebody if we don't even know. But the frequencies, they just do that in a matter of months or sometimes weeks. So it's really amazing how fast it works. Like in my software agency, for example, I had the same day we switched it on, I had an employee, they never came back because the vibration of the company was raised to a different level, and they just didn't align at all anymore. So they went into sick leave and never came back. It was a bit mysterious, but it was literally the same day that we switched on these quantum programs. So for me, it was so obvious what's happening. And that's why I decided to take this as part of my own journey and professional development into the offer.
Oh, wonderful. I know later at the right time, Kelly and both John are going to have questions and comments for you, because this is John's wheelhouse too. I don't know if you're familiar with what radionics is. You probably are. I've worked with radionics boxes. I have about 20 here at the house, but it sounds a lot like you're sending frequencies or photons, but this also goes into the scalar waves of doing work. And so I don't know if there's a way you can compare the two different types of work where you can send people waves through radionics as well. And I was curious if you have any comparison for that kind of work, because a lot of us here get our freak on. Like I know Kelly does frequencies, John does frequencies, I do frequencies, but how would you compare with other frequency machines and or radionics?
Well, what I've heard, especially in the conversation also with John, is that my machine definitely has a higher capacity of clients that you can treat. For example, like I've just taken this recommendation now from John. Actually, I called it the Ferrari of frequency machines. He said, no, it's actually the Lamborghini. When we compared a bit the specifications of what it can do, because of the amount of frequencies and clients that it can work with at the same time. And there's also like a big number of programs that are pre-defined within the machine. So we built some ourselves, and some of them we used out of the box that are actually in the quantum device already. So it's like this, especially the business database. I know it's the biggest on the market with radionic machines, because it has just for business purposes more than 50,000 entries. And some other machines, they have in total 50,000 different database entries. So the Time Weaver has more than 1 million types of different programs and frequencies that you can run in the databases over.
Oh, Sarah's on a pause here. Hopefully she'll come back. So fascinating. I love this. John, would you want to come off mute and say hello a little bit until Sarah comes back?
Yeah, hi. Thanks for
When she'll
having me
come back, we'll
on.
go back to Sarah. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. And I was absolutely blown away when I met Sarah. What a wonderful woman she is. What an extraordinary journey. I think it's just amazing that she's come through this journey, having experienced the positive and significant effects of the equipment that she's been able to use, and then it's causing her to realize that she's not on her path currently, but this is more akin to her path, and how she's migrated almost as a result of that first conversation with her guide. So absolutely amazing.
Right. Yeah, she's coming. Oh, there she is. Hey, Sarah, I was
I'm
having John.
sorry that
Yeah, I was having
my
John
phone
sing
really
your
was too
praises.
hot. It just shut down.
No, that's okay. I was having John sing your praises, but now you're back. So, John, thank you.
I can go now, but
So, Sarah, yes, continue, dear.
Yeah, so yeah, I think I was talking about the database entries. So with the new update of TimeWaver, there's a new update that came out just in June this year. It's now over 1 million database entries, which is very, very huge of source of frequencies that you can draw from. So I think that's the main differentiator to other frequency machines on the market from, yeah, my knowledge.
That's beautiful. And you can run many clients at once with one machine, you're saying?
Yeah, easily up to, depends how much frequencies you send out. 50 to 100 is the average, but if you send a bit less frequencies per person, you could even put in more than 100 people or organizations, which is definitely more than with many other machines is possible.
I'm going to ask a very blunt question. How much is this machine roughly? You know,
Well, depends. There's different options, of course, like with any hardware product, but it starts at around 25,000, goes up to 50,000 something. So it's quite expensive, the investment. And that's why we offer the subscriptions. So people, sorry, it's
oh, you're fine. You're fine.
But that's why we offer the subscription, so people don't have to get their machine, because it's not for personal use. The TimeWaver is really for professionals that work with it, because it can do so much more than you need for one household. So that's how it's designed to use in a professional context, be it in a medical facility or be it in a consulting, yeah, as a consultant like I do.
Do you have would you mind sharing a couple of stories of some of your clients' successes? Anonymously, of course. Do you mind sharing some things you've experienced with your clients?
Yeah, I've seen so many things, especially with the cosmic mission discovery. Like, it's impressive to see how people sometimes turn around completely their life. It can, in my case also, it involved a total breakup with my ex. For example, I had to leave my software company behind. I had to do a total switch, but now I'm living on this paradise island, and I'm totally aligned with that. And the same has happened for some clients, that they really had to go through a lot of, there's like this initial clearing period, I feel, in the beginning, 3-4 months or something, where all the doors that are not meant for you are getting closed and new doors open, definitely. And then it gets into a steeper upwards trend, let's say, after you start working with the frequencies for many, after some weeks, you can see it evolves in a very positive direction. So if you want like a concrete example, like there's, for example, a dentist that I'm working with from Austria, and they got, we made like a special goal list for their social media channels. So for the TikTok account and their Instagram. And then after just a couple of days after we put in these new goals, they went viral and got like 50,000 views with one of the videos, for example. So it can work for many different aspects. We've also a space clearing program for clearing buildings or plots of land, for example, if they need to get sold, or just to harmonize the energies if somebody doesn't really feel at home, or there's maybe some ghosts or whatever going on, if kids sometimes perceive it and they cannot really sleep, something like that. So I have another client, we switched on the program for the space clearing because they wanted to sell an apartment, and like the next day the lead that they sold the apartment to, it came into their life, let's say the lead. And then only 6 weeks after, they were already signing the contracts for the sales, for example, although they haven't been able to sell it for months and months at a time. So yeah, it really works in many different ways, not always like we expect, but always for the highest good of everybody involved, that's for sure.
I know exactly
So
what
we
you're
can
saying.
yeah, we can program like very specific goals, like revenue goals also. For example, I had another client who wanted to make a certain number of income per month, and he didn't really specify how. He would think it would come from his business that he was trying to grow, but in the end the frequencies, they made him take another turn, and he is now working on the castle of Liechtenstein, because he lives in Vorarlberg in Austria. He's now working as a head of maintenance for the castle of the Liechtenstein, but it's a job that he had done before as an employee, but then he got an offer as a contractor. So it allowed him to do his business and to get that job done, you know. So that's what I mean. It always takes the most optimal route. In his case, it wasn't his business, it was his other thing that he had done in the past, but it helped, and within a couple of weeks he had that income that he was programming into the computer.
Oh my goodness. What if someone wants to start your subscription service and just wants an overhaul for everything? Love, health, career. Can you just, throw it all in the bin, so to speak?
Yeah, the quantum life flow or quantum business flow, if there's already a project going, would be like the basic program where we can program any goals, basically, like from travel to income to love, whatever people want to attract. So this is the one that I would recommend in that case, because it's the most broad. We can also like work through different issues, because it will, for every goal list that we create, I will create like a second list, for example, it's called resonance interruption lists, that will work through the specific issues in the subconscious that are blocking realizing your goals. So if, let's say, you want to attract your one love, and we put that as a goal in, then the resonance interruption program will check, okay, what is holding back that you can meet that one person in your life? And then a second list for resonance reinforcement, which will work with different symbols and elements and all kinds of resonance reinforcement frequencies to make it happen at a faster pace. So these are the two base programs. Actually, on the website, they're listed also first for that reason, because most people, that's also our most popular programs. They go with them because it's just, the one that you can do the most things with, unless you have like a specific mission and say, okay, I really, really want to go down that road of working with the trauma of having lost a child or something like that, then I would recommend specifically the trauma harmonization, or if they have a chronic issue of something in their body or some virus, parasite, whatever they want to get rid of, then there's an immune system boosts, like specific things. But the standard program, so to say, is life flow or business flow. And the business flow program also includes for the founder the life flow. That's maybe important to say, because we cannot scale the success of a business without scaling the energy body of the person as well, of the founder, because it has a direct impact, as you sure know. So that is included in the quantum business flow. If you subscribe to that one, then you can actually also get the quantum life flow for one of the founders included.
Oh, I love that. Well, this has been great. I'm so intrigued by your work. What lovely work. What a lovely human you are, in body, mind, and spirit. So what we're going to say is, if Kelly, if you want to come on, if you have any questions, but we'll save all the other folks for the end. But when we post this, you're going to be able to put your contact information, website. I can do it as well, but
I've already done that in the background. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, and I shared your Telegram too as well, Sarah.
Yes.
So
yes.
Oh, perfect.
And do you have an email that you'd like for me to post?
Yeah, for this Hertz Energy, it's just info@hertzenergy.io. That is the best. So me and my team, we can get it and get fast behind any questions that can arise.
Yeah, good. And I'll just post that. What I was going to say, I'll post that also at the bottom in the comments when we post the CHWE interview too. And you can feel free to post under that, Sarah, and also later, Lisa, anything you want in the comment section of this when we record this and post it. I mean, thank you so much. I just love it.
Thank
Love
you.
it. Great work. Thank you, Sarah, so much.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure, and sorry again for the
And if
confusion.
you can stay, you can head on your merry way. It's all good, but it was lovely to have you. Lovely so much.
Thank you. Have a
Mhm.
nice day.
Have a nice day. Hi, Lisa.
Hello, hello.
How are you doing today?
I'm fine, thanks. Thank you so much for having me today.
Oh, two very lovely guests. Perfect. So, Lisa Warner, you've been known to CHWE because you worked with Sana early on and put up some meditations with the community. It was lovely. And now you're back. Would you give us again just a brief bio on yourself?
Sure. I was born awake. I knew a lot of things at 2 years old. When I would go to bed at night, I would just be part of this unified field of unconditional love and light. And I knew instinctively that that field of love and light is eternal, and that is what is actually real, and that is where everything comes from. I knew that that is what people referred to as God. And from that space, I would kind of turn around and look at Earth and go, yikes, like there's something terribly amiss there. Like they're doing war and disease and poverty and fighting, and like, wow. It was very clear to me that it was a prison. And I didn't understand at the time why I had been sent to this prison planet. And with that as kind of my setup, like I had a real hard time trying to fit into this society and, try to, earn a living when we're clearly already living and the earth gives us everything we need for free to thrive. And so I had kind of a rough time growing up. I grew up, I mean, outwardly, people looking would never have noticed, but I grew up in Lake Placid, New York. I became kind of an elite figure skater, and, being on the ice was where I could just be myself. But once I went all the way through the ranks and got my gold medals and kind of my diploma, let's say, from the figure skating world, I was sent out into the world to have a job and, go to college, and I couldn't figure out why all of this was. So I just ended up really struggling in my life. I went through a lot of different jobs and things, but eventually kind of all of that struggle had just really taken its toll on my physical body. And I ended up moving I lived in Aspen, Colorado for many, many years and was the figure skating director there, and, did all kinds of things, had all kinds of adventures, but, just life wasn't really working very well for me. And so I ended up selling my condo and moving back to Lake Placid. And I just thought, I need to get my life figured out. Like, I need to be more masterful. I need to be able to be happy on this planet. And because I had sold my condo, I had some money, and I just thought, I'm just going to take a break from trying to do this job thing and try to figure out what it is that I'm supposed to do on this planet. And lo and behold, all of a sudden, I find myself facing cancer. And I thought, oh my gosh, what is going on here? Like, this is not supposed to be my reality. I remembered being 2 and 3 years old, seeing all of the disease and things going on the planet. And I thought, that's not the way it's supposed to be. So when I found myself in this situation, I suddenly realized, whoa, wait a second. If I'm the creator of my reality, I have created this. I don't know how I have created this. I didn't do it on purpose, obviously, but if I created it, I can also uncreate it. And I realized that if I was going to uncreate it, I would have to not participate in the paradigm at all. So I just blatantly refused to participate in cancer in any way, shape, or form, which meant I did not go the medical route. And I started to go within, and I knew that I knew that all of the answers were inside, if I could only just get quiet and allow them to come through. So my strategy for healing, even though I was in so much fear at the time, my strategy was, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to ask the question, what do I need to know about this in order for it to change? And I'm going to sit here until I get the answer. And it took me a while because the mind is like, well, I better go look over here and I better go look over there. And there must be some guru. No, I just sat in the question every morning. And when the answer dropped in, it was absolutely plain as day. And the answer was basically, even though I saw it in visual form, the answer was basically, hey, Lisa, your body is not being attacked by some killer disease. Your body is doing exactly what it is designed to do, given the emotional input that you have been providing.
That is so profound what you just said. What a profound statement. Can you repeat that, please? So profound.
Yeah, it was, hey, Lisa, your body is not being attacked by any killer disease, and neither is anybody else's. Your body is responding to the input that you have been providing. And in that moment, I knew that that was absolutely 100% true. And in that moment, the entire idea of cancer just, it was like like Dorothy throwing the water on the Wicked Witch. Like the whole idea of cancer just simply dissolved because I saw that it was literally an illusion. And so from that moment, I stopped being afraid. And I stopped looking at my body as being diseased and broken. And I started to realize I was a healthy, fit, elite athlete. Like that's my body template. Like, and I never had to worry about my body, but I had been judging my body, that it wasn't this or it wasn't that, or, and I had kind of disconnected from my body because life was, I was really struggling with life. And life meant being in my body. Like if I wasn't in my body, I wouldn't have any of these problems, was my perception. And so I was kind of blaming my body. I was blaming my physicality for the problems that I was having on many levels. So finally I realized, oh my gosh, like I need to be able to love and trust my body. And once I flipped my consciousness around and started loving and trusting my body, everything started to shift. And the whole idea of cancer was off the table. And now it was like, all right, let me start getting all of these emotional energies cleared out of my energy field. So I started looking at fear. It was like, oh my gosh, fear, that's the problem here. Like if I'm not living in fear, then I'm living in love. So let's clear out all the fear from my energy field. Doubt, guilt, shame, blame, all of these energies, emotions are energy in motion. So these emotions of fear, doubt, guilt, shame, blame, these are all energies. And I started to look at my personal aura, my personal energy field, and started to realize I can actually clear these out. There's no reason that I need to give them space in my energy field. And I started to realize that, oh, this is the darkness that has infiltrated my light. And once I started to understand that, it's like, oh, let me just amp up my light. Let me turn my light back on. And every day I would just sit and I would just see my light beaming out from within. And I realized that there is no end to that light, and that light is filled with love. And that when I just continually beam light and love, I continually be light and love. And source is the source of where that comes from. The more I beam it out, the more there is to beam out. There's like a never ending source of love and light and this energy. And we are this. This is who and what we are. So when we start to be the truth of who and what we are, kind of everything shifts and changes.
I love
So,
that.
yeah, my approach is very similar to Sarah's in that, like, although I'm not doing it with a machine, I'm just helping shift consciousness. We can do it from either direction. So we're both doing the same thing. I'm just doing it from here. These are the things that we need to unhook our consciousness from, because our consciousness has been trained into this false matrix. And
Right.
you know, when we are trained into, here's the rules, this is how it happens, this is what you have to do, then we just follow the rules to our own demise. So
Right. Right. So Lisa, I assume your book is about stuff you just said. So your book helps us move toward that path for self-healing. Would you talk about your book a little bit, dear?
yeah, so basically once I healed from the cancer and all of that, I still was kind of struggling with my life, and it's like, what am I supposed to do on this planet? You know, because I don't want some soul-sucking job. So every time I asked, what is it that I'm supposed to do? The word right came in. I'm like, write what? Like, show me what I'm supposed to write. I don't know what I'm supposed to write. So after about a couple of weeks of this going back and forth and no answer was really forthcoming, I was like, fine, I will write a journal, and I will just journal all of the awarenesses that I had while I was going on my healing journey. So it was, believe it or not, probably 25 or 30 pages in, and I was like, oh, I'm writing a book. Like, I didn't even know what I didn't really set out to become an author, but I realized that it was a book and that it was going to need to be published. And I had a friend who was a book designer. So fortunately, I called him up and said, hey, Stephen, can you help me out designing a book? And he's like, sure. So I put it out on Amazon. I just self-published and then went, oh my God, what have I done? What have I done? Oh no, people are going to see me. And it was kind of a traumatic thing at the time for me, but that all worked out well. My book has been out for 10 years now, and it has helped many people. It's now in its second edition. It has a new cover, and it's the 10th anniversary edition of the book. And I've kind of taken some old parts out and put some new parts in. And so
I love that. So
yeah.
how do you help clients these days? How do you do your work?
So basically, I really helped them to see what I saw in that moment when I realized, like, cancer is not a thing. You know, I start to help everybody shift their consciousness. We all know that we are body, mind, and soul. Well, basically, we're the body and the mind, and the soul has kind of been put off somewhere else. But the soul is who we are. It is the essence of our being. And we have been taught to be citizens of the world, and we have taught to be good little citizens and pay your taxes and vote and follow the rules and do what you're told and get a job. And so our consciousness has not ever been allowed to develop organically. Our consciousness, our minds have been developed for us. Here's what to think, when to think, how to think. And we have just been basically constructed our own prisons of our own thoughts. So I help to deconstruct the prison. I help to see what's actually going on the planet, how we can actually step out of the prison system, this reversal matrix system, lead our own lives and be our own gurus, to be able to live our lives as in the private rather than in the public as the citizens, when we take our power back. And we can heal ourselves, but we have to realize that we have the power. So, and the power lies in our love and in our light and the truth of who we are as divine beings.
I love that. So do you have a subscription service? Do you have a website, like helping clients? You're talking earlier before we started to record about how you're going to offer meditations for people. Like, talk to us a little bit about how that's set up.
Yeah, so a couple of the things, I am kind of retooling my business at the moment, and I'm creating a new course. It'll be a 12-week course that comes out in September. called whole being healing. So we look at all the different parts of ourselves and clear out all of the distortions, start to realize the power that we have to heal, fix ourselves, that we can be our own guru. Part of what I do is, with every session that I do, whether it's a private client or a group session, I always do a guided journey. After we've done all of the talking in the session, then we close our eyes so that we can see the invisible realms, and we start to just journey within and take our power back. We go into that space of who we truly are, and we remember ourselves, and we start to clear everything out. So those guided journeys are really, really powerful. And I've found that if my clients do those on a regular basis, whether a daily basis or every other day, it starts to just organically shift their consciousness into their higher selves. So part of what I am going to be offering now is a subscription service for monthly meditations. It'll be a very low cost investment, but there will be a constant changing of the meditations. So there will be always fresh ones coming in, and they'll be downloadable, and you can make a playlist on your iTunes or wherever you're playing your music, and just be able to pick meditations each day whenever you need it. So
I
I'm
love
excited
that.
about that. This is all just, it's coming up in the next couple of months.
I love that. Well, we're going to go to questions soon, but Lisa, do you have any final thoughts you want to share? And we'll put your information out as well.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, one of the things was that when I put my book out, I thought, who's going to believe me? Who's going to believe some girl, that just claims to have healed from cancer, and that cancer is really an illusion. And so I really didn't do anything with my book for a while. I didn't even put myself out there as a teacher or anything, just because, I had some self-esteem issues and thought, who's going to listen to me, And it was a couple of years after my book came out, I met a woman who had read my book, and she said, when we got introduced, she said, "Oh, you're the one who knows German New Medicine." And I thought, wait, what? Who? And she said, "Yes, your book. It's the basis of German New Medicine." And in that moment, I knew that somebody had actually done all of the research. So even though I didn't put all the research in this book, because I was never the one to do the research has actually been done, and it has been done thoroughly and completely with 100% consistency across the board. And it is the biological laws of how our consciousness is impacting our physicalness. So there actually is actual science.
And now you have it. And now you have it. You have the receipts right there. Boom. I love it. Well, thank you so much, Lisa. I'd like to open it now for anyone who'd like to have questions. We're a small enough group if people just want to come off mute and ask any questions you have. Kelly, Claudia, John.
Lisa, it's always wonderful to see you. I have connectingwithyou.com as your contact for your website. Is that correct?
Connectingyoutoyou.com.
Okay, hold on. Let me make sure I got it correct, because I did actually.
Yep, you got it right.
Okay, good.
It is right, Kelly. I've looked it up. Thank you.
Okay, good. Good to know. All right, thank you.
And like I said, feel free to post anything both of you would like to post under this video. As a matter of fact, you can take clippings of it and use it for your websites if it's useful. You have permission to cut and paste if you want to use this content. Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, if you will. I mean, I'll start with Lisa. That was such an amazing presentation, and what an amazing story. And I think many of us here, particularly Kelly and Liz, can relate to what you went through and what you worked out for yourself from first principles. And I think that is the most organic and harmonic and most honest way of learning anything. So what an incredible story. Really interested in your business and how you're proceeding in your business. And I understand in a couple of months you're going to be releasing some meditations and tracks and stuff. But have you thought about how you then would perhaps scale the business to make your work and everything you do available to a wider audience without you having to actually spend all of your time? Because I assume you do a lot of face-to-face now. But that's always the complication, is how do you then dissipate your work for more and more people to get the joy and pleasure from without having to work 5 times as hard as anybody else?
That's a great question. Thank you so much for asking. Yes, I've just recently found a new platform to release courses. So I have 3 courses that are home study courses that are currently released on the platform. And I will be adding more and more as we go. I am currently I'm putting more and more in there as we go along. Let's put it that way. The meditations will be released as soon as we can get them built into the platform. So it's all in the works. So yes, I will have lots more home study courses and live courses coming up. And I have a YouTube channel, so I do a weekly, it's called Lunch with Lisa, and it's about a 30-minute, 25-30-minute talk that I do each week on a different topic just to help shift consciousness. So there's a lot of information out there that's free already.
Great, thank you so much. That's really encouraging to
I
know.
have a for Lisa too, if I may.
Say
Yes.
that again, Sarah? You were
Yeah.
breaking up a little bit.
Go ahead, yes.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Now I was wondering, I had a question for Lisa too, because at Enlightened Nations, the foundation we founded here in Madeira, we are actually gathering certain information like what you're doing that help raise people's consciousness in many different ways, not just with the frequencies. So maybe you would be interested to have a chat later on and see if we can maybe include some little tiny part of your meditations or something like that in an education subscription we are putting together, so people get also to know your work, and we can expand it further, and then they can go and purchase the full course with you if they like it.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much for asking. That would be fantastic. I would love to connect.
Cool. Perfect. I'll reach out to you then.
Great.
Awesome. And do you mind if I ask a question to Sarah now?
You go, John. You.
Thanks for. I mean, yeah, thanks very much, Sarah. What you're doing is just incredible. I mean, as I said, and yeah, my reference to the Lamborghini was just because I'm a Countach fan and not a Testarossa fan, but you know, it's only personal preference and all that. You talk a lot about working with businesses and mainly manifestation stuff, but 100,000 frequencies is a lot of frequencies, and we didn't touch on this when we spoke previously. But in the work that you do, are you also able to work with health and wellness? And I mean, I know it's all part of the psychological, as Lisa's explained, and all of that. But are you able to work with sort of physical ailments as well in your packages?
Yes, I have that's called the organ coherence module that works the physical side of things really on a cell level, and that has all the templates for how healthy cells vibrate. So I can do both. Like, I started out more business focused because that's what the most of the people that use this type of machines, they do it for the physical area. So it's a kind of a niche that's not yet so explored. But of course, as it goes hand in hand, and even if you want to run a business successfully, you need to take care of whatever physical issues you have. Otherwise, how can you focus fully on a business? So yeah, I offer that too for the physical areas, and in that I do some collaborations. If it's a tough case, let's say something really severe, bring in my doctor, the one that recommended me the time waiver, who has like the medical experience sometimes needed for really, like, if it's not like a flu or something more severe, then sometimes it's good to have a professional look over that and give like specific recommendations additionally. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a really big topic. I mean, as you know, many of us work with frequency-based mechanical devices, and one of the main challenges is the diagnosis and is getting the right frequencies as well. So it sounds like you've gained a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge on what particular programs to use, which somebody who was to invest a large amount of money would not have initially, that you can actually provide in the service that you give. So really amazing journey.
Thank you, Sean. Yeah, you're absolutely right. That comes with the experience on how to use the database, because it's not good to have a 1 million entry database if you don't know which ones to pick, because of course we don't apply every frequency to everything, that's clear. So yeah, that's why I'm also grateful to the people that introduced me to that, because I can always go back to them and ask if there's something that I myself need consulting with. Then I have my quantum doctor and business consultant at hand. Yeah.
Sarah,
Perfect.
forgive me. Sorry to interrupt. Is it Time Weaver, like WEAVER? How do you spell that? I just want to put it in the chat.
Yeah, the website is timewaver.com. It's like waving the time, like, yeah.
Time Waver.
From,
Yeah,
Time
yeah,
Waver.
like it waves.
Okay.
That's how
I'm
you
just
write
curious
it.
because people will
Yeah,
want to look
Time
it up
Waver.
because I have so many frequency machines. And like I said, I've had big radionics machines that have had frequency settings as well. And so I'm just very interested in these things. Thank you. Timewaver.com.
Yeah, that's correct how you put
Thank
it.
you. Thank
Exactly
you.
like that. Right.
I'll put it in the chat for you.
I did, yeah. Oh, thank you.
Oh,
Kelly.
thank you. Yeah.
I've just put the link for you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
Claudia, you're quiet. Do you have any questions? Anybody else? And we don't have to stay on the whole hour, but we can certainly can. I have loved this. I've loved both of you guests. It's been kind of an eye-opener. I do similar kinds of work. I don't use machines or frequencies on others. I'm just a consciousness person using some psychology and some shamanic, all kinds of energy work coming from the field, basically. But I'm very interested in all this. And so we all here are of a piece of things we do together, whether it's just through consciousness, through machines and frequencies. I love it.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Claudia.
Well, I just love the subject. I just want to congratulate the presenters on their work, and wanting just to know how to get in touch with Lisa, with these two lovely ladies. So my question right now is just the housekeeping thing. So you will be posting all of their information so that we can have access to their books and websites and all of that, so that we can explore and keep on our path doing the work.
Yes, ma'am. And also, the information's currently in the chat as well for both ladies.
Okay, perfect. I just want to congratulate them both, and I admire ladies out there in the world doing amazing things for themselves and for others, since we all need support from external sources for a while until we reconnect and do our own thing from within.
Agreed. Thank you for joining, Claudia.
You're welcome. Thanks to you.
Yes, thank you,
Thank
Claudia.
you, everybody.
It's been great having you both on. And thank you, John, too, for the backup and introducing us to so many wonderful people. And Lisa, thank you, as always.
Thank you.
And for those that have not tried her meditations, they are wonderful.
What I'd like to do now is I can simply go off record and people can stay in chat or go. Is that okay with everybody?
Yep.
Thank you, everybody, for
Yes,
listening.
thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for listening.